Hi, this video is meant to describe the two ticket payment systems under the Ticket to Work program. It will help you understand who might be a good candidate for Ticket to Work, and if you are an EN or plan to become one, it will help you understand when to request payments. Having a good working knowledge of Social Security benefits is very helpful. If you haven't downloaded the handout called 2023 Payments at a Glance, you might want to pause and do that now so you can see it better. The Payments at a Glance document provides an overview of the two Ticket to Work payment methods. At the top is the outcome payment method, and below is the milestone outcome payment method. Each EN chooses which payment method they would like to use, but whichever one they pick, they will need to use it for all ticket holders. ENs can change payment methods, but once they switch, it will apply to all ticket holders. Notice in the two right-hand columns that payments may be different for SSI beneficiaries than they are for SSDI or Title II beneficiaries. When someone is a concurrent beneficiary, meaning that they receive both SSI and SSDI, the payments are based on the SSDI schedule. The first payment method is the outcome payment method at the top of your handout. This method requires that the ticket holder has earnings sufficient to zero out cash benefits before the EN will receive payments. But once they are no longer receiving benefits, the EN could request up to 60 payments for an SSI beneficiary at $516 a month, up to a total of $30,960 a year. Or for the SSDI ticket holder, up to 36 payments of $918 a month, up to a total of $33,048. But to continue to receive these payments, the ticket holder must remain working and earning enough to zero out cash benefits. So how much would a ticket holder have to earn to zero out cash benefits? Well, let's first think about what you know about SSI payments. Social Security uses a formula to gradually reduce SSI based on how much someone is earning. For SSI beneficiaries, it may look like this. First, SSA looks at the earnings which for the self-employed person would be net earnings from self-employment, or NESE. And you might recall that NESE is a little less than their average monthly net profit. It's net profit multiplied by 0.9235. Then they subtract the $20 general income exclusion and the $65 earned income exclusion, and then only count half of what is left to determine countable earned income. And that is what is subtracted from the person's SSI. To determine how much an SSI beneficiary needs to earn to zero out their payment, we basically just do the calculation backwards. We start with their SSI cash payment, and in this example, the person is getting the full benefit rate of $914 in 2023. And now, because you're doing the calculation in reverse, we multiply by 2, which gives us $1,828, and then add the additional $85, 65 plus 20. So for somebody receiving the full federal benefit rate in 2023, they would need to earn $1,913 to zero out their SSI cash payment. If someone isn't eligible for the full federal benefit rate, then you would want to start with the amount they are eligible for. But in most cases, it will be the federal benefit rate. So that's how it works for SSI recipients. For SSDI beneficiaries or other Title II beneficiaries, it works differently. Because SSDI is all or nothing, the earnings amount needed to eventually zero out cash benefits is measured by substantial gainful activity, or SGA. And you may remember that this year, in 2023, the SGA amount for beneficiaries who are disabled is $1,470 a month, or $2,460 for blind individuals. Someone would need to have average monthly net earnings from self-employment over the SGA amount. And remember that SGA level earnings may not zero out a person's check right away. If they haven't used their 9-month trial work period or their 3-month grace period, it could be up to a year before benefits are suspended. Also, if they are using work incentives that lower countable earnings, they may continue to receive cash benefits. Some advantages of the first method, the outcome payment method, are that it's pretty cut and dry. It's easy. People are either earning enough to stop cash payments or they're not. The downsides of this method are first, that the ticket holder may not zero out cash payments right away, particularly SSDI recipients because of the trial work period. Secondly, earnings must be verified by SSA before SSA can pay ticket payments. So for those who are wage employed, ENs can submit pay stubs as proof of earnings. But for those who are self-employed, earnings are verified based on tax returns. So regardless of when somebody started earning SGA, it won't be reported until early in the next year during tax season, and then it may take several more months before it's verified in the Social Security Administration system. Third, if the ticket holder never zeroes out benefits, then the EN receives no payments for their efforts, which is what led to developing the second payment method, the milestone outcome payment method, which I'll describe next. The main difference with the milestone outcome payment methods is that it enables the EN to receive some of the payments earlier on while the ticket holder is still receiving cash benefits. It was meant to address some of the downsides of the outcome payment method. It works like this. Phase 1 consists of 4 milestone payments of $1,645, and note that this is the same regardless of whether the ticket holder receives SSI or SSDI. Phase 1 payments are based on earnings at the trial work level, which is $970 a month in 2023. The first month that a ticket holder has gross wages or net earnings from self-employment over $970, the EN is eligible to receive the first milestone payment of $1,645. When the ticket holder has earned over $970 for 3 months, the EN is eligible for the second milestone payment. Note that the months with earnings over $970 don't have to be consecutive, but they do have to fall within a 6-month window. When earnings are over $970 a month for 6 months, within a 12-month window, the third milestone can be made, and the fourth after 9 months, as long as the 9 months are within an 18-month window. So by the time phase 1 is complete, the EN has been compensated $6,580, and the ticket holder has completed their trial work period if they hadn't done so previously. In phase 2, the earnings requirement increases. Now they are looking at whether the beneficiary is earning over SGA in gross wages or net earnings for self-employment, NESE. If they are, the EN continues to receive payments of $277 a month for SSI beneficiaries and $493 a month for SSDI beneficiaries. Phase 2 payments can be collected for 18 months for SSI ticket holders and for up to 11 months for those who receive SSDI. But during phase 2, the ticket holder can still be receiving cash benefits. Someone might be in their grace period, or they might be using work incentives that can lower their countable income, which could make their cash benefits continue even though they have earnings over SGA. The last phase is called outcome. And to receive the outcome payments, cash benefits must be zeroed out. And you'll see that for SSI ticket holder, the EN will continue to receive payments of $277 a month for up to another 60 months. The SSDI ticket holder's EN will receive $493 a month in payments for up to 36 months. So if someone goes through the whole program, the payments to the EN would total $28,168 for an SSI beneficiary and $29,751 for an SSDI beneficiary. This is less than what an EN would receive with the outcome payment method, but with the milestone outcome payment method, you are compensated earlier, and if the person stops working or stops operating their business or isn't earning enough to zero out cash payments, the EN perhaps was able to at least get some of the early payments. It's important to note that not all payments may be available. For instance, if a ticket holder has had a successful closure with VR in the past, the phase one payments are not available, regardless if the successful closure was based on the current job or small business or from some other previous work. But often with self-employment, VR is contracting with the CB tax, so you're already being compensated for your early work with the prospective business owner. And then after the VR case closes, an EN could receive the phase two and outcome payments, which are really the bulk of the ticket payments. Another situation where some or all of the phase one payments might not be available is if the person was working recently prior to assigning their ticket. SSA feels like if they were already working, that the EN should not get paid for placement, but they can still receive the phase two and outcome payments. And they could receive some phase one payments as well, depending on how long ago the person was working and for how long. On the website, there was a tool called the 18-month look back tool, and that helps to identify which payments would be available. If the ticket was previously, excuse me, if the ticket was previously assigned and some ticket payments were already made, they may not all be available. And similarly, if the ticket was previously assigned, the former EN may request future payments be split if they provided significant services leading to the person's employment or self-employment. So just know that not all ticket payments may be available, and you need to look at people individually to see what ticket payments might be generated. In summary, the Ticket to Work program can be an incredible resource to help extend the services provided to Social Security beneficiaries, which can be particularly important with those who are self-employed. Most of you will be working with people referred by VR, so a successful closure will mean that phase one payments are off the table, but there is still over $23,000 in ticket payments that could really help provide extended support. So I would strongly encourage you to think about becoming an EN or partnering with an administrative EN.